He told the crowd to fight like hell, and all hell was unleashed. He promised he would write them, everything they did. He would be side by side with them. Then, as usual, he left the dirty work to others. He retreated to the White House. We must be clear. Democracy is on the ballot. Your freedom is on the ballot. Today, we're here to answer the most important of questions. Is democracy still America's sacred cause? Yes. I mean it. This is not rhetorical, academic, or hypothetical. Whether democracy is still America's sacred cause is the most urgent question of our time. And it's what the 2024 election is all about. And now these MAGA voices who know the truth about Trump on January 6th have abandoned the truth and abandoned democracy. They made their choice. Now the rest of us, Democrats, independents, mainstream Republicans, we have to make our choice. Donald Trump's campaign is about him, not America, not you. Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with the past, not the future. He's willing to sacrifice our democracy, put himself in power. Our campaign is different. For me and Kamala, our campaign is about America. It's about you. It's about every age and background that occupy this country. It's about the future we're going to continue to build together. Trump is running as the denier-in-chief, the election denier-in-chief. Once again, he's saying he won't honor the results of the election if he loses. Trump says he doesn't understand. Well, he still doesn't understand the basic truth. That is, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your country only when you win. For the first time in our history, insurrectionists had come to stop the peaceful transfer of power in America. First time. Smashing windows, shattering doors, attacking the police. Outside, gallows were erected as the MAGA crowd chanted, "Hang Mike Pence." Inside, they hunted for Speaker Pelosi. The House was chanting as they marched through and smashed windows, "Where's Nancy?" Over 140 police officers were injured. Jill and I attended the funeral of police officers who died as a result of the events of that day. Because of Donald Trump's lies, they died because these lies brought a mob to Washington. Trump is trying to steal history the same way he tried to steal the election. But we knew the truth because we saw it with our own eyes. This wasn't like something, a story being told. It was on television repeatedly. We saw it with our own eyes. Trump's mob wasn't a peaceful protest. It was a violent assault. They were insurrectionists, not patriots. They weren't there to uphold the Constitution. They were there to destroy the Constitution. Trump won't do what an American president must do. He refuses to denounce political violence. So hear me clearly. I'll say what Donald Trump won't. Political violence is never, ever acceptable in the United States political system. Never, never, never. It has no place in a democracy. None. Can't be pro-insurrectionist. And what's Trump done? Instead of calling them criminals, he's called these insurrectionists patriots. They're patriots. And he promised to pardon them if he returns to office. Trump said that there was a lot of love on January the 6th. The rest of the nation, including law enforcement, saw a lot of hate. He calls those who oppose him vermin. He talks about the blood of America as being poisoned, echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany. He proudly posts on social media the words, that best describe his 2024 campaign. Quote, revenge, quote, power, and quote, dictatorship. There's no confusion about who Trump is.
Today, the country is very divided by party lines, and it's not so much the party, but specific people, right? Like, you know, we compare Biden to Trump. There are these Trump supporters. Now, I know there are other Republicans running for the presidency, but the Trump supporters, I feel, aren't looking at the actual picture, right? They're supporting a person without knowing what that person really stands for. And I find that if we can get people to really listen to what the issues are and understand democracy and what we have in this country and how good it is, that will help people choose a side. I think that he should not be allowed on the ballot. Was trying to overthrow our government, right? We see, if you saw this, you know, this is something you don't see in America, and what we saw on the news that day on January 6th was something you expect to see in a country with a dictatorship, where, and you'll hear about it in history, you know, they overthrow the government, and somebody who preaches that should not be allowed to represent our country and be the leader of what we call the leader of the free world.
I think what he's done on infrastructure, what he's done on healthcare, lowering medical costs, I think he's had a successful presidency that he does not get enough credit for. And I think that he's our best option right now. It's going to be either Joe Biden or a Republican. We have two people to choose from on November 5th, and I think he's the best possible option of anybody that's running.
Yeah, so I definitely want to support Joe Biden again because I fear that we're going to slide into authoritarianism. Trump has talked a lot about he wants to do away with the justice system and put in all these people that are his elected officials. And so I just want to make sure that we protect our democracy.
Whether democracy is still America's sacred cause is the most urgent question of our time. And it's what the 2024 election is all about. The choice is clear. Donald Trump's campaign is about him, not America, not you. Donald Trump's campaign is obsessed with the past, not the future. He's willing to sacrifice our democracy, put himself in power, members of his staff, members of his family, Republican leaders who were under attack at that very moment, pled with him, act. Call off the mob. Imagine had he gone out and said, stop. And still, Trump did nothing. It was among the worst derelictions of duty by a president in American history. Trump said that there was a lot of love on January the 6th. The rest of the nation, including law enforcement, saw a lot of hate and violence. He refuses to denounce political violence. So hear me clearly. I'll say what Donald Trump won't. Political violence is never, ever acceptable in the United States political system. Never, never, never. It has no place in a democracy, none. At his rally, he jokes about an intruder, whipped up by the big Trump lie, taking a hammer to Paul Pelosi's skull, and echoing the very same words used on January 6th, where's Nancy? And he thinks that's funny. He laughed about it. What a sick... My God. He calls those who oppose him vermin. He talks about the blood of America as being poisoned, echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany. When the attack on January 6th happened, there was no doubt about the truth. At the time, even Republican members of Congress and Fox News commentators publicly and privately condemned the attack. Today, I make this sacred pledge to you: the defense, protection, and preservation of American democracy would remain, as it has been, the central cause of my presidency. America, as we begin this election year, we must be clear. Democracy is on the ballot. Your freedom is on the ballot. And I promise you, I will not let Donald Trump or the MAGA Republicans force us to walk away now. You can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your country only when you win. We all know who Donald Trump is. The question we have to answer is, who are we? That's what's at stake. Who are we?
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. It's no wonder Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means necessary. They're willing to violate the U.S. Constitution at levels never seen before in order to win. They will do anything to win. They'll do whatever they have, whatever they can. And remember this, Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. He's a threat. When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.